All right. So, welcome to the Dcom debate. Today we are arguing arguably two of probably the most popular Dcoms.
Yeah.
Brink,
Absolute juggernauts.
Oh yeah, Brink versus Johnny Tsunami. I am arguing for Johnny Tsunami. You are arguing for Brink. Soul Skaters.
Happy to be arguing for Brink. Team Puppin' Sods.
Yeah.
Team Puppin' Sods today.
So right out the gate, I'm just gonna say Brink is a cringy ass movie.
Oh.
The movie
out
is
tough.
so cringy. Brink, the title character, is, after 20 minutes, I'm so fucking over this guy. I need him to stop talking. His voice is annoying. His slang is annoying.
I love him in this movie.
He talks like he's out of breath every minute.
He's also in the Leave It to Beaver movie. The live action Leave It.
Yeah, he plays Wally.
The later one.
Yeah.
Love him. Great actor. Perfect for the role. Absolutely perfect for the role. I mean, the movie is like an over exaggeration of extreme sports and the 90s, like of its time. It's literally an over exaggeration of its time, and it's like, it's like,
No.
it's a beautiful capture of the time period.
No. Brink's friends are cool. I like his friends. Growing up, I am not ashamed to admit that growing up I had a major crush on Gabriella.
Yes, would you say about after she gets hurt?
Oh, when she gets hurt, I was so worried about her. Like, I wanted to go help her, make sure she's okay, man. Her arm looked fucked up, and I was like, no.
They did, which again, that was always a jarring
but
injury.
like, but Val, who plays the bad guy for Team X Blades, his face is so fucking punchable. I fucking hate his face. I will put up a picture of his face right here, and you can tell me how badly you want to punch him in the fucking face.
You know, I don't know his name offhand. We'll get that up there as well. But did you know that this actor was? Did you ever hear the show Beauty and the Geek?
Yeah.
There was a show Beauty and the Geek, and it was always generally like the guys were the geeks and the girls were the beauties. But for one season, they decided to do a progressive switch up and have one of the teams have a male beauty, and Val was the male beauty in that, the actor who plays Val. I think that Brink and Val are like the epitome of good versus evil here. You have Val, he's got the dark hair, you know, they kind of look the same, they kind of look similar. But then you got Val, he's got the dark hair, he's always dressed dark. Then you got Brink with the blonde hair. He's always dressed in like these light colors, and it's like this very like just like obvious idea of like, here's your bad character, here's your good character, and not that Brink is even that good. I mean, admittedly, he's kind of an asshole.
Brink is a total asshole. Brink is a dick, dude. He's an asshole to his friends. He's an asshole to Team X Blades. I'm gonna say Val is a bad guy, but Val did just try to be his friend. But Val was just like Val is like that like rich kid that would pay people off to be his friend because he doesn't quite know how to actually be people's friends. But the other guy, the guy who like gets hurt and spends most of the movie on crutches, I feel bad for him because they did him so dirty with his fucking lineup on his hair. It was
Boomer.
His hairline.
Dude, that's his hairline and everything.
His hairline was fucked up.
I can't believe it though. That's just his normal hairline.
His hairline was fucked.
He's got that hairline and everything. I know it's been recently.
Yeah,
memed.
it was bad. I mean, as it should be. It was bad. The movie is not good. Like it's not written that well. the action scenes, the rollerblading scenes are cool, but like
Okay, I'm glad you did say that they're cool because they did a good
there,
job.
yeah, but there is one scene during the competition when they're doing, it's like a, you know, whatever, bunch of shots. Um, and the music that they have playing over it is like this really slow song
I
that's
know.
just, it's like, why not pick a better, faster song?
I know exactly which song you're talking about. Well, because this movie had a 4-song soundtrack, I've realized. And actually, so did Johnny Tsunami. Both movies only had 4 songs in there, like 4 notable,
Johnny Tsunami was
like popular
better.
songs. And you're thinking of what is it? It's that Clarissa apology. It's like,
Yeah, it was bad.
because
It did not fit.
sorry, I did not lead.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was just so bad. It didn't fit.
Yes,
And
it was
didn't,
fine.
It didn't fit.
It
Him
fit.
and his dad didn't really fit. The mom didn't fit. The sister didn't fit.
I thought
the friends didn't fit. Gabriella, I still feel bad for her. Johnny Tsunami is a masterpiece. Johnny Tsunami is a world-class, chef's kiss masterpiece of a Dcom. Everything about Johnny Tsunami was awesome. First off, for Johnny Tsunami, unlike Brink, Johnny Tsunami has a stacked cast. You have, and I'm going to put the pictures up, you have Shang Tsung as the grandfather. You have Chosen from the Karate Kid as the dad. You have the famous Jet Jackson as his best friend. You have, I'm pretty sure that's Xenon, girl of the 21st century, as the love interest.
Kristen Storms, yes.
Yeah, so, I mean,
it's a good
dude,
lineup.
Johnny Tsunami, Johnny Capahala, the main character, he was in Punks. He's awesome. He's likable. He's relatable. The dad, he's just trying to do his best. He's, he's fumbling around. The grandpa, he's awesome. He's high. He's vibing. The mom is a baddie. I love the mom. She's great. I love even the bullies. They're good bullies. They're funny bullies. They're fun to watch. Everything about Johnny Tsunami is fantastic. It is not cringy. It gets a little heavy-handed sometimes.
There's cringy parts.
I don't think so. Not nearly as bad as Brink.
You know what? There was a scene in Johnny Tsunami that was just like okay, I like Johnny Tsunami. I'm not gonna trash the salami the way you're trashing Brink here. However, there was a scene, the scene like where Kristen gets stuck on the hill.
And they fall. Yeah, that's intense, man.
Literally. Just like when you're watching it, dude, there is like a complete just veer to the right. Like no, like it's like a clear, like ledge at the end, and it's just like a whoosh, like it didn't look accidental at all.
Hey man, the wind could have moved her.
The wind.
Yeah, that girl probably weighed like 60 pounds. The wind could have blown her over.
Oh, man. It did not look right. I'm gonna say it didn't look right.
You know what doesn't look right? All the fucking stunt doubles in Brink. All the stunt doubles. They don't look right at all. There's so many. In like literally every shot they did for the competition scene, Jordy had like 5 different stunt doubles, and I'm just like, all right. Brink himself has a bunch of different ones. Like no. At least Johnny Tsunami, it definitely used stunt doubles, but like not as noticeable, not as overt. Like, hey, look at this person. This isn't your main character.
I don't know. I don't even know why they were on such a dangerous hill in the first place. Here they are. Kristen's like going on her first snowboarding run. Johnny Tsunami can barely. He's just starting to snowboard, and here they are going down a hill that could land them. In the words of Sam, played by Lee Thompson Young, R.I.P. You either go big or you go home. He has another great line in the movie, I will say. When Johnny Tsunami gets into the fight with the Sky, the lead Sky, they get into a fight. Mm-hmm. And one of the other Skies tries to jump in, and he holds him back, and he's just like, I actually have it written down here. He's just like, what does he say? He says, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I know you don't want to take me on."
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, you don't want to take
you
him
don't
on,
want to
dude.
take on. He's the famous Jackson, dude.
He's
That
gonna
is the
kick your
famous. He's
ass.
gonna beat the fuck out of you, dude. Lee Thompson Young is so. Oh my god, rest in peace, because he was so good in literally anything that I've seen him in, as a child to a young adult. I mean, he passed away in 2016, and I mean, just he was awesome.
He doesn't.
Like,
he
was
never
so
has
good.
a line that comes off cringy.
No,
He
he
doesn't.
never feels cringy. He is
he's-
such a good actor. He brings so
Yeah.
much heart to this role, and it's a believable friendship between him and Johnny.
Mhm.
Like, they feel like people that would actually be friends. They feel like people that would actually get along. And when you have the Skies telling Johnny, like, you should hang out with the rest of us, or you have the Urchins telling Sam, like, hey, why are you hanging out with the Sky? And it's like, it's really cool. They have a believable friendship. Their chemistry as friends is great. When they go to Hawaii and they're teaching Sam how to surf, it's such a cool, fun scene.
They got a pretty good soundtrack too.
They have a great soundtrack.
There's a song by Crystal 52. It's like a ska song in there that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
And then there's a little connection I want to make between the two movies here. Fastball, the band Fastball. Last song in the Johnny Tsunami movie is Fastball's hit "The Way." You would know that song if you look it up. "The Way" by Fastball. It's very popular. And then Brink ends with a Fastball song or starts with a Fastball song with Fastball Sooner or Later. And both songs, like, I have sooner or later stuck in my head after watching Brink. It's so good, such a good track. But yeah, I mean, I will say I also want to point out, we're talking about the all-star cast of Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah.
You can't go without mentioning Steve Von Wormer, which is who we were trying to think of at work the other day. But we got Steve Von Wormer. He plays the two brothers. He plays both roles of the two brothers who run the ski shop and the snowboard shop. This man is in, like, he's literally only in like 8 movies, and like every movie is like a personal classic for me. He's in Idle Hands, Meet the Deedles, which I want to watch again. The Anarchist Cookbook, which I want to watch again. It's been a long time. He has a cameo in Bubble Boy, cameo in Super Dave, and cameo in Jingle All the Way.
Who's he in Bubble Boy?
I don't remember. It's cameo though. Just a small piece. Small piece in there. Meet the Deedles is a starring role for him. He stars next to Paul Walker in that.
I love Bubble Boy, so I'm trying to, like, Bubble Boy is one of my favorite, like, comedies, like 90s.
They got the New Radical. You know how much I love New Radicals. They got the New Radical song in that. You only get what you give. Oof. So
but anyways,
good.
back to the movie. Sorry, was getting off track.
No,
Got me
you're
thinking
good.
of Bubble Boy. We should do a rewatch of that.
Yeah, I would do that.
But I mean, so before I shit on Brink anymore, I do want to say both of these movies put a huge smile on my face. These are both feel-good movies, tried and true feel-good movies. Really good, even though it's a lot of stunt work, obviously. The extreme sports, the skating, the surfing, the snowboarding, all of it is really cool.
It's of a time,
It
too.
is.
Like
They're
like
both
when
very
extreme
90s.
sports were like at
Oh,
its
yeah.
peak.
I think, like,
did both these come out in the 90s?
yeah.
Brink was like 96.
Brink was, I think, 98. I think Brink was 98 and Johnny Tsunami was 99. And I mean, they're both good movies. I just think that
I think they're both similar too. With
They're both very
the
similar.
dynamic with the father. You know what I mean? It's like you got the father
disapproving
who's
father.
trying to like get along with his kid but doesn't know how, sort of deal. Although the dad in Brink pisses me the fuck off the whole time.
He's
He
just
is
like an
such
angry
a
man.
dick. Such a dick.
But I think Johnny Tsunami is it's a better movie. Just again, I keep saying objectively in so many of these arguments because I think objectively Johnny Tsunami has a better story, has better acting, has better written characters.
I have another portion that's cringy, Johnny Tsunami. I just have to say I have it written down here. When his grandpa and maybe this goes back to you talking about the grandpa being stoned, because maybe he was fucking stoned.
He's definitely
to do this.
high.
But like for the race, which already you're going with like that classic 80s trope. What movie? There's a movie where they do a fucking ski race at the end of it. But you got the race.
I think that might actually be Better Off Dead.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm looking at my case of Better Off Dead, and I'm like, I think that's actually Better Off Dead.
And for some reason, the grandpa is just like, and we're gonna put the Johnny Tsunami medallion on the line here. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, why are you putting the medallion on the line? That makes no sense. There's no reason
I thought
to do
the
it.
only cringy part of Johnny Tsunami that I thought, because the Johnny Tsunami medallion made sense because they brought it up in the beginning of the movie, so it's like this is obviously going to come back into play. The only part of Johnny Tsunami that felt cringy to me was at the end of the race when Johnny's dad was like, "We're all having a party at our house and everyone's invited." It's like, don't do that.
But that's when they play fastball though. The way, which is a weird song because that song's actually like really sad. If I'm not mistaken, it's about like an old couple who like just drives off and is never seen again. I'm not.
That's cool.
Like that, yeah. It's like, but it's not a party song by any means. But it works. It works at the end of it all.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think Johnny Tsunami is a better movie. I think it's better made, better acted. I think it's one that on a rewatch is easier to rewatch. I think Brink, you remember Soul Skater, and you remember None Ya Business, and you remember...
I even have that down. And you know what, though? But that shows how much this stands the test of time. But listen, I was just watching that 90s show. Just came out.
I watched it, yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing? I watched
it, yeah.
They used None Ya Business in it.
They did.
Dude, like, Brink stands the test of time.
But the thing is that again, Brink is such a product of its time that I do think when you watch it now, it's like, oh, this is cringy. The dialogue is cringy. Some of the acting is really bad. I do think that, you're like, this is definitely a time capsule. But I think you watch Johnny Tsunami, and it's got that amount of nostalgia. It's got the slang. It's got all that stuff. But it's also just a good movie. And I think when you're trying to say of what is the better Disney Channel original movie, Johnny Tsunami is the better Disney Channel original movie.
I mean, I'm sticking with Brink here. I loved the way this movie. Here's a little connector to both movies too. At one point, I don't know if this is a real skateboarding move, but they say 540 Liu Kang grab. So now we got two Mortal Kombat references.
Yeah,
and not with Shang Tsung being in Johnny Tsunami and this, but we got like I loved how much Brink captured the time with, like right down to Jordy, the details of like Jordy's helmet. He had a whole sticker on his helmet. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I didn't think Brink needed to ruin their pizza though. He didn't need to ruin Val's pizza before he threw the shake in his face. Like, because he ruined everybody's pizza. That clearly wasn't just Val's pizza. He didn't need to do that. Side note, just gonna put that out there. That's the thing. I mean, and that's one thing that I think is interesting about this, because like Johnny Tsunami is such like he's really never doing anything wrong.
No, he's a good dude. He's just a good kid.
But Brink fights with like that feeling of just of choosing between like friendship and like this thing. I mean, when Val comes in, it's like his friendship and his like passion, because at the end of the day he can make money doing his passion. And Val comes in when that spot opens up on Team X Blades. Val comes in like the serpent snake from Adam and Eve, dude, and tempts them all. He's just like, none of you guys would make it, and he's like skating around them all. Dude, like oh god, Val is such a smooth villain. He is such a smooth villain. Although he says something terribly problematic at one point, and I was like,
what does he say?
When he tells Gabby, he's like, if you don't like it here, why don't you go back to Mexico?
Oh yeah.
It's like, that's like, oof.
But Gabriella, I loved love Gabriella.
And she's great. She had a snapback. She's like, I'm from Peru, you idiot.
Well, yeah, and then there's also the other part of when the other bully is like, hey, Gabriella, you ever get tired of trying to be a boy or whatever? And then she's just like, no, do you? And it's like, ooh. Like, okay, Gabriella is a goat. She is a goat.
I love her overalls.
Yeah,
she got great style.
She's awesome. She is a goat. But I think, and again, I like Brink's friends more than I like Brink. The brother. How
about Pete's dance?
I was gonna say Pete plays the brother in. I want to say it's a show called You Weird or So Weird, which is a great show for anyone that likes older, kind of creepier Disney shows. So Weird was an awesome show.
Do you remember Pete's after
when he lands the 540? Yeah. It was so great.
I remember that. I remembered that. So, that was when that part came up again. I couldn't help but just to be doing it in my room.
It was good. I loved it. I loved that. It was great. In Johnny Tsunami, I want their fucking snow hats with the fuck. I wanted that. Those are so dope. Those are so dope.
That's when you're a true urchin.
Oh yeah. Again, both movies put a big smile on your face. We are obviously going to need you guys to vote. What is the better Dcom? Because even for me, it is hard to decide which one I do like
they're
more.
Both,
they're both great.
They're both. Johnny Salami's an 8.9. I got Brink at a 9.
See. I'm the other way. I got Johnny Tsunami at a 9. I got Brink at an 8.9. So yeah, we need you guys to be the tiebreaker. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on TikTok at the Dcom Debate. Next week, we are starting our basketball movies, and we are doing
just in time for March.
March Madness. And next week we are doing Double Teamed versus Full Court Miracle. We got 2 blondes versus a bunch of Jewish kids. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.